Hi there, welcome to www.highschoolmaths.co.uk. Today we're going to be looking at ratio calculations. So this is the next step in your progress through the ratio topic, and what we're going to look at here is how ratio can be used in one situation in real life examples, and all these questions will be in contexts. So the first one we've got is number of boys to girls in a class is split in the ratio 4 to 3. If there are 16 boys in the class, how many girls are there? Okay, so it's telling us the already simplified version of the ratio, and it's kind of the reverse of what we did with the simplifying ratio. We're looking to scale that back up appropriately so that we've got the correct amount of boys and then the correct amount of girls in the class. So let's put our heading down. We've got boys to girls, and it will always come in the correct order in the sentence. So whatever order it comes in the question, so boys first, girls second, that's the order the ratio will be in. Okay, so it's the ratio 4 to 3. Right, so boys to girls, 4 to 3. All right. It's then telling you there are 16 boys in the class. So there's 16 boys in the class. So under the boys column, we're going to put 16. Now, what we want to do is scale up that original ratio, which says for every 4 boys, there's got to be 3 girls. So if we've got 16 boys in total, we want to find out how many groups of 4 make 16. So 4 times what gives us 16. All right. So 4 times 4 is 16. That means there's 4 groups of boys in the class. So there's also got to be 4 groups of girls for this ratio to scale up proportionally. So 3 times 4 is 12. That means in the class there's going to be 16 boys and 12 girls, 28 pupils altogether. Okay, but the question was how many girls are there? There, let's leave a space in between it. There are 12 girls. And it's not a lot to write at the end, but communicate your answer. The question didn't say just to show the work, it actually specifically said how many girls are there. So it wants an answer. 12 girls would probably be the minimum that you would be expected to write, but you've got to write something that indicates 12 as your answer. Don't just leave it as 16 to 12 as the ratio. Okay. Okay, let's look at another example. So a packet of sweets contains orange and blue sweets, and it's saying the number of orange sweets to blue sweets is split in the ratio 7 to 2. So we've got a 7 to 2 ratio here, and that's again fully simplified. So we're going to look at the first question. If there are 14 orange sweets, how many blue sweets are there? So again, it's taking that simplified ratio and we're scaling it up so we've got the appropriate amount of sweets. So it's orange to blue first. And you can write the word orange and blue if you want. I just usually write the first letter, unless they're the same. So orange to blue is 7 to 2. So if there's 14 orange sweets, we put 14 under the orange column. And we're figuring out how many groups of sevens does that make? Well, that's 2 7s. So we're timesing by 2. 7 times 2 is 14. We're also timesing this side by 2, or multiplying this side by 2, I should say. 2 times 2 is 4, so we've got 4. Okay, so in that packet, there's going to be 4 blue sweets. Okay, let's have a look at question B. So if there are 10 blue sweets, how many orange are there? So again, we're starting off with that same ratio. We're going back to that starting off ratio. Orange to blue is 7 to 2. Okay, but this time it's telling us there's 10 blue sweets. So maybe like another packet of sweets had 10 blues. So this time we put the 10 under the blue column. Okay, so you've got to make sure you put the number in the appropriate column. If it's orange sweets, it goes in the orange column. Blue sweets go in the blue column. And we're looking to see how many 2's make 5. So 2 times 5, 5 groups of 2 makes 10. So we're multiplying by 5. We've got to keep that ratio balanced. 7 5s are 35. The question was how many orange sweets are there? 35 orange sweets. Okay, and question C, a tin has 27 sweets altogether. How many of each kind would you get? Okay, so this is actually taking you into a little bit of kind of almost proportional division. It's kind of looking at what we're going to do next. But sometimes these questions are mixed together. So if there's 27 sweets altogether, what you've got to think about is how many sweets do you get in an individual group? So if we look at the simplified ratio, so the original ratio was 7 to 2. Okay, what that means is that for every group of sweets you've got, you're going to have 7 orange and 2 blue, but you're going to have 9 sweets altogether. Okay, we're going to look at this a bit more in detail when we go into proportional division. All right, but if the question is telling us we have 27 sweets, all right, that means we've got to have 3 times as much. And 9 times 3 is 27. So that would give us 27 suites. So what it's telling us to do actually here, but in a kind of hidden way, is to multiply by 3. Okay, so if we multiply by 3, that would give us 21, and multiply by 3, that would give us 6. And just check that that does add up to 27. 21 add 6, 21 orange, 6 blue does give you 27. So you get 21 blue and 6 orange. Oh no, sorry, wrong way around. I was thinking I was a bit weird. 21 orange and 6 blue. Okay, so that is how you use ratio calculations. It's basically the kind of scaling up of the ratio, but doing it the appropriate amount for the information given. The next one we'll be looking at this kind of last question, proportional division, but they can kind of mix together. They're a very, very similar idea. It's just working a slightly different way. So hopefully you found that helpful. And if you would like any other maths resources or videos, please visit www.highschoolmaths.co.uk. If you did like the video, please don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. And please share this video. Thanks for watching and have a mathemagical day.